Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled. This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars. On hot7025fm.com.
In this thing like a wedgie. There we go. Let me let the voice be heard here online right now, live and direct. You hear Holla at the Homie on hot702.5fm.com. Also right here on Facebook and Instagram Live. It's your main man 360 the Poet. That's THAPOET. Make sure you spell my shit right because it means something. And that's how you can get in contact with me as well to make sure you know you following the right person. So we back. And if you don't know what we here for, we are at the #1 advice line online or live that you will ever find right here on hot7025fm.com and live on Instagram and on Facebook. So I'm the homie, 360 the Poet, like I said before. We always want to make sure that you know exactly how to contact us. You can look or either right there at the top of the screen or maybe some of y'all at the bottom of your screen, and you can see the telephone number. That's 702-551-5261. Once again, 702-551-5261. So that's the number you can call for our hotline if you want to let your voice be heard. But also, if you're one of the people that's trying to get some advice right here, then all you got to do is send me an email at hollaatthehomie@gmail.com. That's HOLLAATTHAHOMIE. Y'all see it across the screen right there. So some of y'all see it at the bottom of the lone live screen. And those who don't know, just remember how the song goes. So we back, y'all. Man, we had a good time last week. Yeah, we did. We were in here talking about, being able to love somebody and still cheat. And we talked about all that good stuff. And some of y'all agreed, some of y'all didn't. But we were having a good discussion and open forum about that last week. But this week, we got a completely different topic. We also going to be featuring one of my favorite artists. He's going to come on here. Well, he's not coming on, but we're going to premiere some of his music later on in the What You Said segment of Holla at the Homie. The artist known as Freedom, straight out of the Midwest, Danville's own Freedom, a.k.a. B. Rice. No, I'm just messing with you. It's Freedom. Call him Freedom. Respect his name. Put some respect on his gangster. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, too. We got a good letter for us, one that's kind of dives into something I think a lot of people may be dealing with in certain types of ways and just may not have the understanding that they are dealing with it. So sometimes you have to ask somebody else what they got going on before you can see what you got exactly in store for yourself. So without any further ado, I want to talk to you today about our sponsors. If you want to be a sponsor here at Holla at the Homie, make sure you send me an email or send it to Christy, Attention Christy at hot7025fm.com, and we can get you some sponsorships. Today's shirt of the day, SOTD, is brought to you in part by Palm Tree Designs by Anna W. That's Anna with one N. And if you need any type of, whether it be apparel or whether it be merchandise, you hit her up. She's got fast turnaround time on her shipping, and she's got some good prices on that as well. But she sent me this one to say, hey, style me up. Let me get together on top of your show. Put me on there. Put me on game. And that's all y'all got to do. All my people out there, you got some apparel. You got a hat. I love to rock some hats. I'm not a Rocky Top person, but hey, we rocking orange today. That T stand for my last name and for 360 the Poet. It's a T in every part of my name. So there it is, to the T. Anything you want to say? So I like hats. I like T-shirts. I like backpacks. I need mouse pads. Anything you can think of. You want to send some cash over? Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. But today, once again, thank you to Palm Tree Designs by Anna W. That's ANAW. In case you all want to get with her, send her that at Palm Tree Designs by AnnaW@gmail.com. But without any further ado, we going to get into what it is that we do here at Holla at the Homie. I got a new pair of specs, y'all, so I'm trying to figure out how these fit on my face, dealing with, whether it's sweat or what other kind of stuff we got going on. I'm trying to figure out how these John Varvatos, that's a damn shame. John Varvatos. I didn't spend more on these glasses. I could have bought a couple pair of shoes as much as I didn't spend on these glasses. I was talking to my wife this morning, talking about, look at us being responsible, paying for grown-up stuff. I don't want it. I don't want it no more. I don't want it. I don't want to spend dollars and dollars and dollars on some spectacles because my damn prescription didn't change in the last 60 days. No, I'm just playing. It took about 6 months. But, that's me cheating myself, not wearing my glasses. But we're going to get off me. We're going to get on to today's letter. For those of y'all who don't know who are just joining us, once again, you are here at Holla at the Homie. What'd you say, Matt? Matt said he'll take that orange for his Cleveland Browns. Oh, man, I forgot you was a Cleveland Browns fan, Matt. It's okay. I got a Dolphins hat here, too, but I decided to rock this one instead. It went a little bit different, the orange and the white. I ain't want to freak y'all out, letting y'all know I'm that Fins fan 77. That's my tag name. What's up, cousin? Shavy Baby in the building. But, yeah, so Matt Seward, appreciate you always chiming in, tapping in with us. Who else is on there today? I am Tory Lane. What's up, Nisi Poo? Glad you chimed in with us. Arnini, Styling Diva 101. You in the building. Appreciate you. But for those of y'all who don't know, this is the #1 advice online column, whether it be online or live. And what people do is they hit me up. Either they send me text or most times they send me emails. They send me emails asking me questions about this, that, or the third. And I always have to put my disclaimer out there to all my people listening in live land, anybody who's listening on the app. I have not been to school for the things that I'm doing here on TV or on your computer or on your phone. I have not been to school or not have ever been clinically trained on being a psychologist, psychiatrist, or anything of the such. But what I have done is had life experiences and lived vicariously through others close enough to where I can absorb the jewels and pick the jewels up that they drop and take them on as myself and deliver them back to y'all. So that's what we're here for. So all those who don't know how to send your information in, all you got to do is send it to hollaatthehomie@gmail.com. The name is spelled out right there across the bottom of the screen, or it's HOLLAATTHAHOMIE@gmail.com. And today's letter reads as follows. I had to print it out because sometimes these computers be acting up on me. Say, what's up, homie? I've got a question I hope you can help me with. You see, I've been struggling with receiving help. And I know that may sound pretty vague and incomplete, so let me clarify a little. I have always been a believer in people. So when someone says they are going to lend their help, I take it at face value. The thing is, lately I have started to realize that people talk a bigger game than they play. Okay, talk to me. Either they half-ass give their assistance or they give excuses, and he put that in air quotes, about why they can't help you at all even after already agreeing to. Then there are other instances where I have specified the type of help I've needed, and people will say, okay, and then commence to helping the way they want to, and not in the way in which I asked. Now, I have come to the point where I have started to either reject assistance or ride my pride and not seek any at all. This has led me to resent people and become somewhat secluded. Family and friends have started to notice the change in my movements, and when they ask me if there's anything they can do to help, I get agitated and sometimes lash out at them, knowing good and well that I really could use their assistance. So, homie, I'm asking you, Is it okay to turn down or reject someone's assistance and still ask for their help? Sincerely, help them, help me. Oh, you said the right name right there, brother. Help, I'm going to say, bro, I always be assuming. Let me stop assuming. Because if I assume, I make an ass out of you and me. Hey, don't be, shut up, Donovan. I ain't know, that's how you remember my jingle. But, so I don't like to assume. So I'm going to say brother or sister or person of writing. I'm not going to say person of interest because it sounds like you're on the TV show, but person who wrote to me. You put the right name when it says help them, help me. Because what I'm looking at here is a couple of things. I like to keep your letter handy so I can refer back to it so I'm not cheating you out of what it is you're asking me. What I'm looking at here is I see you want assistance. So this takes a big person first and foremost to ask for help. Let's get that established. It takes a lot for somebody to ask for assistance. So big up to you, brother. So that's one thing. But what I'm thinking you're missing or maybe omitting is that your assistance may be more dealing with your drive opposed to your lack of support. And what I mean by that is because it seems like you bounce back and forth about like where it says like there's been times you specify the type of help that you've needed. Now, specifying and communicating it may be two completely different things. So we'll get back to the communication part of it in a minute. Let's stay right here on what I'm talking about with your drive. Okay, so a lot of times where we need help is just make sure we jumpstart our drive, right? So your drive it's like a weapon, and like any weapon, for it to be successful or for it to have any effectiveness, we'll say, you must first do one thing. You must do two things. First, you must focus. And two, you must take aim. Now, those are two completely different things. Because if you want to go back to the definition of help means to provide something that is useful or necessary in achieving a means to an end. No. So my thing is, first you got to understand what the word help means. Like you're trying to find something that is useful to you and necessary to bringing a means to an end of something that you're missing or something that you're desiring or something that you're striving for. So back to this drive thing, right? So when you're striving for something, you must first and foremost have the drive to go after it, right? So in that weapon of yours, you must first focus, meaning let's break it down. First, you got to focus on what is it that I am about to attack. What is it? You must identify what it is that you want to weaponize your drive against, right? So with that being said, when you find out what your target is, then you can do part two. You take aim at it. So first you have to understand what it is you're up against. Before you can go seeking help, your drive being your weapon, you must first find out what it is you need help with. Right? So find out what your target is. And then once you understand and identified your target, then you must take aim, meaning now you have to utilize all the things that you're putting around you and focus them using the focus and aim at what it is you're trying to target against. Right? So meaning so for instance, we're going to use them as examples. If you're asking someone for help with gas money, right? Because you don't have the money to get to where you're going, whether it be, I'll be at work or something along those lines. So now you understand that what your target is eliminating being lacking in money, right? So now what you got to look at is how you're going to aim and use that focus to take out that. So now you helped, somebody gave it to you. So they gave you $1. Or they may have tried to teach you how to get $1. And if you're rejecting that lesson, then you're not bringing a means to the ends, which is the word help in the first place, right? You want to find a way to bring a means to an end, right? So if you're rejecting the lesson that they're giving you. So they say, they always say, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. So if you're rejecting the lesson of learning how to fish, then you're not looking traditionally for the means to the end. So I got a couple people tapping in saying, like, somebody saying, no, you're blocking your blessing by turning down an offering unless it's compromising your integrity or your energy. And then somebody says, right, I'm helping nobody that doesn't want to on their own. I'll help you as if I see you trying to push your car. But if you're not trying, then why should I, theoretically speaking, help you? Okay, and I get both of those. I get both of those points. And because I want people to understand from both sides of the spectrum. So from that side, that may be how others may look at you when they want to give you that help. So one thing you got to understand is, what kind of help are you willing to receive? Again, if you're blocking that, if you're, keeping that lesson away, are you willing to receive the help that is offered to you? And also, you have to look at the people with whom you are asking for help and say, do I understand how this person can help me? Not meaning like based off what I think they can give. Am I really allowing this person to help me in their totality? Being able to help me in the way they can. Like, yeah, I may be able to help you move, but I'm not going to be the person lifting the dresser. You understand? So you may ask me, hey, 360, can you help me move? Yeah, what I'll do is I'll tell you what box is going to go in the right spot and how they going to fit cornerstone wise and how you're going to maximize your space. I'm not lifting, but I'm still helping you in the way in which I, the person in which you seek this assistance from, am able. What are my capabilities of helping you? Are you taking those into account? Are you the one saying like, or are you saying like, well, I know I've seen you carry stuff from back and forth, this and that and the third. So why can't you help me carry this dresser? That's what I need, the help. That's the kind of help I need. But I understand that. But you need to communicate. Again, now we back to this communication part. Communication is a two-way street. Communication is going to bring you, somebody has to listen. Somebody has to speak clearly and get the entire point across. That's where a lot, like, again, we going back a few weeks when I talked about how people listen to respond and not listen to absorb. So this communication is back at it again. In order to communicate, you have to listen to absorb to be able to reproduce what it is, to squeeze that sponge out, squeeze that information right back out. So now if you don't understand how I'm able to help you, Mr. or Miss, help them help me, then that's where we already have a hurdle. I'm not going to say a roadblock. I'll say a hurdle. Because with a hurdle, you can knock it down. You can jump over it. You can say, forget it and let it stop you. So we have a hurdle, and once we are able to talk it out, that hurdle becomes smaller. It lowers, or it kind of, the wind blows and it gets out the way. Because it says right here in your letter, it says friends and family have started to notice the change in your movements. That's not a good thing. You changing how you move. Don't change how you move based off somebody else's input. Don't base how you move off somebody else's movement. So what I mean by that is just because I may talk loud doesn't mean you have to get loud too. Just because you see I'm talking loud. And me talking loud is getting me the results that I need. Your movement should be based off the results that you need. Mr. or Miss, help them help me. I got people chiming in saying communication, you need to be very specific about the help you need. Exactly. That's what we're talking about. Thank you, Mr. Al Rich, for solidifying my point right there for me. You have to be specific about what you need. And if you're big enough and strong enough mentally to be able to ask someone for help in the first place, then don't cower away when it comes time to the meat of the issue. Meaning, like, don't back down when you get all the way to the finish line and be like, I just can't say these words, or I can't bring them to, I can't bring them to come out of my mouth in the point where I can say, like, can you help me all the way with A, B, C, and D? You got to really, really dive into what it is you need help with. And once you establish that, then you can get to the root of the issue on how to get the help. You have to know how to get help. People think it's automatic. It's a plug and play situation. They think just because, I ask for it, people understand what it is I want. Okay. You can ask me for my phone number, but do you want my childhood phone number? Do you want my phone number to my office? Do you want the phone number to my business? Do you want my mama's phone number? You just ask me for my number. But you got to be specific. Hey, can I have your phone number so I can call you about blank? Okay, so now I know what number you need. Can I get $10? Like you say, can you give me $10 specifically? That's what I'm saying. You got to be specific. On the Atlantic or the Pacific, you got to be specific. What y'all thinking about it? Let me see. I got a couple people on here chiming in again. Somebody said, Shaby Baby said, people should stop assuming. That's right. Because and that's another thing, dealing with the assumptions with help, and the type of help people can give you. It's sometimes not about what they can give you. It's about what are they willing to give you. You can't get mad at somebody if they don't want to give you 110%. They may not have that to give. They may not have that, they may need something else in their tank. So them assisting you is at the level in which they can. Understand that. It's at the level in which people can assist you. Does that make sense? Mr. or Miss, help them help me. Because what happens is you get in your feelings and then you lash out at other people. Now you're lashing out at the ones that you're seeking help from, because your question is it okay to turn down or reject someone's assistance and still ask for their help? So apparently, in your heart of hearts, you're going to ask them again. So why burn that bridge? Why burn that bridge? You can't cross back over it if it's ashes. And again, you got to understand, perfectly said, I am Tory Lane. People have to also remember that some people don't have the capacity to help them. They can't. That's what I'm saying. Like, they may exhaust their tank giving you what you're requiring of them and then not have to give to themselves or others. That's the part people got to understand. Like, people that are helpers, they need to be able to replenish their tank sometimes too, because if not, they're not going to be able to help themselves or anybody else, including you. So what difference does it make if you get so bent out of shape all over the fact that, well, I know he got it. I don't know why he can't just, you know what I mean? It ain't like I'm asking all the time, but the way it sounds in this letter is multiple times, or maybe multiple people one time at a time. You got to be able to understand, like, where and how much people can actually help you when you're seeking help. So apparently you're below the bar where you want to be in an area, right? Not saying you're helpless. Mr. or Miss, help them help me. I'm not saying you're helpless. I'm just saying you're below the bar in a position where you don't want to be, and you need a little uplift just to get you over it, right? That seems as if what you're saying here. But again, we got to go back to the original focus of the question. Help to provide something useful, necessary in achieving an end. Something useful. Not saying something that is going to completely give you everything you need. Something that is useful to getting you to the point where you're trying to reach. That's the point. That's the part I'm trying to get across to you here. Don't just think you're crazy or think everybody else is against you because you're not getting the exact answer you're looking for in the beginning. Look at it as, okay, I need help. So if I add this person to this person to this person, it's almost like, look at it like this. Oh, light bulb. Bing. Look at it like this. You need to create your own metaphoric GoFundMe for help. And what I mean by that is, don't look to one person to answer all your questions, to bring an end to your issues. You can look to one person to be useful and helpful, full of help, or as much as help as they can give, and look at that like, okay, booyah, I'm one step closer. But maybe if I listen to how this person is trying to teach me to not need this help anymore, then maybe I won't have to step to anybody else, because now they're a part of it. They didn't answer it because it's going to take a part of me to answer it too. I always say, whenever you point a finger, 3 fingers point right back at you. That's me, myself, and I. You are also the root of the issue. Whenever you're pointing a finger, me, myself, and I is pointing right back at you. You have to understand, where is your domino? What domino did you place in line to start knocking the other ones down in order to get where you are at the moment? That's a real question. So Mr. or Miss, help them help me. I hope some of this was useful and helpful to you as well. Because I don't want to be I know I'm not the answer to your complete. I may have answered your question, but I am not the answer to your problem. What's that? Mr. Al Rich said, you got to be open to receiving different kind of help and not only what you consider help. And Shabby Baby said, woo, child, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. And that is the truth. Again, it's all 360 and back to where we began. What is help? What kind of help are you willing to receive? And what kind of help can you understand people being able to give you? You want help or you want answers? Those are 2 different things as well. The answer may not help you in the way in which you thought it would. So don't put all your, now I think about Kobe, don't put all your eggs in one basket without you being able to make some more eggs. You know what I mean? Like, real. Don't put all your faith in one person thinking like, oh, they've got the answer for me. They are my help. Even your spouse is considered your help mate, meaning somebody who's there to match and help you as you help them. Y'all match each other's help. You call your children your little helpers. So Mr. or Mrs. Miss Help Them Help Me, I need you to kind of bring that focus back towards those in which you think may be turning themselves on you, or for those that may be not willing to help you, as you say, or it says like they either give half-ass assistance or they give excuses about why they can't help at all after already agreeing to. Let me dive into that a little bit, as far as like maybe they decided like, you know what, this must be tripping. This must be tripping. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Maybe they've reached a point in their life where they've learned to say no. Even to those that they know that they can help. But if you're not going to receive the help that they've got for you, I'm straight up going to tell you, if you're not going to take the help I got for you, that I've got to give, I don't know what to tell you. That's on you, baby. That's on you, baby. Because I got what I got to give you. Like, it's like somebody saying, like, you go to offer somebody $1 that's panhandling. And they be like, you don't have any more? WTF? Nah, I don't have it. You don't have that one anymore. That's what I'm gonna say. And you don't have that one anymore. I'm gonna take my $1 back. Watch me. So be mindful of how you interpret the assistance that people are trying to give you. Okay? Because you may end up cutting off a hand that's able to feed you somehow. That may be your downfall, that you end up, like they said, like Shabby Baby said early in the thing, you may end up blocking your blessings. And for what? Because you said sometimes I'm either going to not ask or ride my, let me rewind. It says, either I start to reject their assistance or ride my pride and not seek any at all. And I don't want you to feel like, again, like you say, either you reject their assistance. It's perfectly fine. If they're not, again, if you communicate the type of help you are looking for, then it kind of minimizes the chance of you being considered, like Shabby Baby said, be mindful about being ungrateful too. Now, if you communicate the type of help you're looking for, and then it comes to the point where they say, well, you know what, I can't help you in that way, and you say, you know what, I understand that, then that's not any disgratitude. That's not being ungrateful if the communication is there. But if you just be like, man, you tripping, man. What you mean you can't help me? Like, you can. Like, I just saw you help such and such and such and such the other day. Again, get out of my pocket. Quit assuming on my time and understand that this is what I have to give you. What I may have given them was what I had to give them. And in that moment, I may have been able to give you more if that you were the person that needed it in that moment. But right now, I'm not able. And I shouldn't have to justify and explain that to anybody that's asking me for help. So that's where the point gets to me. We're like, you ungrateful. I shouldn't have to tell you why I can't help you in a certain way. But if we're communicating in the beginning, if we started off like as a response, I can't, explain to you. But if you communicate and ask, look, 360, I need A, B, and C. And I tell you then I'll explain like, look, A and B shouldn't be a problem. But C, I can't swing that right now. So now what am I saying? Now, are you going to get upset because I can't swing C and you think I can? Or are you going to, get mad, or just be able to accept it and be like, you know what? Thank you. And reject it. Be like, thank you, but no thank you. You still have the right to say thank you, but no thank you. You have to, that's when the rejection of it comes. It's not really a rejection. It's I'll pass. I appreciate the offer, but I'll pass. Thank you, but no thank you type thing, So that's not being ungrateful, because you're communicating it with one another, what type of help is being sought and what type of help is available. All right. So again, I appreciate you, Mr. or Miss Help Them Help Me. You gave us something all to think about today. You gave me something to talk about for sure, because this is a situation where, a lot of us may be going through. and people ask, like, those that say they were down for me, are they still down for me, or were they ever down for me, type of thing, right? And that kind of goes along with today's feature piece on the What You Said segment. Today's artist is an artist by the name of Freedom. You can find him, Freedom MMG Music Group, on Facebook, on Instagram. We're going to play his song called Life is Life in just a moment. And he's going to talk to us about some of the things we've been discussing already, about how people say they're going to help, but then they may not. I'm going to let y'all listen to the music, and y'all tell me what y'all think about it. Let me make sure I got all my stuff together over here. Beautiful. This is Freedom.
Stay spinning like a Ferris wheel. Everybody cap, they ain't feeling like they said it is. Ain't no love lost. If you ain't with me, you ain't welcome here. I done been a boss and a worker. I know how it feels. We tryna come up from the bottom to make it to the top. And you ain't got a pot to piss in and your pockets pop. You better do something. Whatever you do, just don't make it hot. Cause I done seen a lot. You ain't in, who ain't making life we live ain't worth nothing if you don't make it count. I try to count you out at the end, but you can't count it out. You is all you got at the end, and they won't come around. So you better get better within, so they won't count you down. Ain't it funny how your loved ones don't even love you? It'll be somebody else that's a stranger to support your hustle. You ain't even gotta ask them, they gon' give you what you want. While your people be on the side, want some free shit over front. My mind going crazy, stay spinning like a Ferris wheel. Everybody cap, they ain't feeling like they said it is. Ain't no love lost. If you ain't with me, you ain't welcome here. I done been a boss and a worker. I know how it feels. We tryna come up from the bottom to make it to the top. And you ain't got a pot to piss in and your pockets pop. You better do something. Whatever you do, just don't make it hot. Cause I done seen a lot. Who ain't in, who ain't make it out. If you don't make it count, but you can't count your out.
Woo! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was Freedom with Life is Life. And he talked some shit in that one. He said life is a motherfucker. It's going to be hard. You ain't going to make it out. He said, what about the people that say what they ain't talking about? Ooh, you heard that? He said it'd be a complete stranger that support your hustle. And you don't even have to ask them. And your people be on the side supporting somebody else, but then want some free shit from you. Think about that. Is that help? Is that people helping you that say they gonna help you? Big up to Freedom on that one. Because that right there in itself, that's something different, man. When you think you're gonna receive the help from people, and then they all turn on you is what you consider it being done, right? So again, so even in that song, we can interpret it what we were talking about today. Is it people turning on you, or is it them helping in the way in which they can? Or is it, in what she said in that song, people that they'll support somebody else, but then ask you for something free? That's not help, is it? You tell me. You chime in. You call in. You tell me whether you think that's help or not. Because I don't consider that help if you say you're going to be there and then out of nowhere you just decide to go in a different direction. How does that help me? What's that you say? Somebody said then you have to be able to solve your own problems as well. Understandable. But if that were the case, if I was able to solve this issue, then I wouldn't be asking for assistance with solving it. That's the kind of double-edged sword. Like, you know, if you don't want to help, say that as well. I'm perfectly fine with that response. If somebody says that they just don't want to help me, okay, cool. I get it. I'll kick rocks. I'll make it happen in another way and ask somebody else for help. But not just to be, you know, looked at as if I'm nothing in the situation. Like, to look at me and say, I'm going to help you, then decide I don't want to help you. We got to the problem and the root issue of what is help. Finding an assistant way to bring a means to an end. Something useful and necessary to bringing a means to an end. I'm going to tap back in with some of these responses. Everything happens for a reason. This is true. I'm a firm believer in that. Everything happens for a reason. So now, again, you can't be blinded, or I'm not going to say blinded, closed-minded. That's the word I'm looking for. Being closed-minded won't allow you to receive help at all. Being closed-minded won't allow you to see the areas in which the help is actually helping. Because sometimes we get caught up in that, right? We get caught up in the fact that, I'm so stuck on asking for the help that I'm not even seeing where it's starting to take place. It's an old proverb, old saying, a watched pot never boils, right? And I thought that was some bullshit. I thought it was until one day, mischief and marijuana mixed together made me sit there and watch a pot to see if it was going to boil. It's going to boil in a minute. I promise you, it's going to boil in a minute. And it never did. And why is that? Is it physics? Is it just like, the universe saying like, nope, as long as you watch this, it's not going to happen? Or is it just reality? The reality of it all. The butterfly effect, as they say, like the flap of a butterfly's wings in Indonesia can change the ripple of the tide, and create a tsunami somewhere on Mars. I'm just using that as an example because I don't want a tsunami to hit anywhere on the earth, But where's the butterfly effect in it? What did you contribute to it? What part of you is thwarting? Maya gonna laugh at me because I can find a way to throw the word thwart in any conversation. What is thwarting you from completion of receiving that help? That's right, pride. That's a good one. Prideful. Being prideful is, they say the fall comes shortly after the pride. Or the fall comes before the pride, whatever it is. Whenever it's somebody's pride, somebody falling. Whatever they say about it. No, I'm just messing with you. The pride comes shortly after the fall. Or something. I'm mixing it up. You know what I mean? But pride gets in the way. It's okay to be proud. But being prideful is something different. That means you're full of pride. I've got a saying. Ego. When you insert your ego, means you eliminate your greatest outcome. That's a 360 saying. You can say it. I said it right here for the first time live, but I've said it before in circles. When you insert your ego, you eliminate your greatest outcome. Meaning you could have been way better in what you were trying to do. Could have achieved way more in what you were trying to achieve. You could have learned way more of what you were trying to learn if you just decompress some of that pride. Pride is a pressure cooker. It builds up. Then out of nowhere you whistling. These are all metaphors, metaphorically speaking, but you're loud and out of pocket, making noise. Coach Allen Robinson used to say, and my track coach at Tennessee State University used to say, an empty wagon makes a lot of fucking noise, gentlemen. And I never really knew what he meant by that until, I asked him one day. I was like, let me dissect this. I'm a question asker. If I don't know, I'm going to ask. And if we sat down and something without substance will rattle, meaning so an empty wagon means it has no substance, but something that's full. Pride is air. Pride is a big ball of air. Again, like that pressure cooker. So it's really nothing in there of substance. Pride is substanceless. It lacks substance. Meaning it's going to be abrasive, make a lot of noise. People going to see it coming. But when you're full, when you let some of that air out and you take on the lessons and take on the help and take on the assistance that you are seeking before you let your pride take over, then you'll be able to maneuver and your moves won't change like they said, like the person said in the letter. Your moves won't falter and change into somebody being completely different than who you really are. Your pride makes you become somebody different. It doesn't allow you to receive the things in which are in store for you. Again, ego, eliminating your greatest outcome when you're ego-driven, egotistical, prideful, all these additions to words to make sure that they put an exclamation point on them. So what is it that you got from today? Did you take today as something to say like, you don't know what he's talking about? Or did you actually absorb? Did you listen to absorb today? I hope you did. Because while talking, I was able to absorb some of my own words. Some of the things I was spitting. Again, none of this is scripted. This is all, I read the letters, get an idea of what I'm talking about to make sure I can match some music or poetry with them. But none of my responses are scripted. So in essence, I'm listening to myself trying to absorb some of this also. So hopefully you were able to listen to absorb and use that and be able to squeeze that sponge out to somebody else later. Because that's what we're here for. That's the reason why we have Holla at the Homie. So you can holla at the homie. Again, like I said, I started this as like an outlet for the fellas. Because, the fellas never really have anybody to kind of talk to. We really don't talk. We'll say that. We really don't talk to anybody. But to be able to have somebody to let it out to let some of that pride out, that pressure cooker pride out, it's a good outlet. So we have Holla at the Homie. And people send it emails like Mr. or Miss, help me help them, or help them help me. And I'm very appreciative of anybody who takes the time out to listen, who takes the time out to comment, who takes the time out to send in a letter, to make a phone call, just to say, good show afterwards. I appreciate all of it. Ooh, what's that? Absorption. Ooh, that's a new word. Styling Diva 101, Arnini. She said absorption, meaning absorb what you observing. Ooh, I love new words. That's going to be a new one for me. Let me screenshot that. Absorption. Yep, it's done. Screenshot it. Good looking. Styling Diva 101. Again, I'm appreciative of all. Y'all didn't have to take any of these last 50 minutes with me. Y'all could have been doing something else. But I appreciate it because apparently I must have something to say, I guess. And, as we go along, we move along, we'll have more of y'all on and we'll invite more artists and we'll talk more. We'll talk out more issues because that's what this is. This is open forum for people to be able to holla at the homie. So anytime you got something on your mind, make sure you send me an email at HOLLATTHAHOMIE@gmail.com or call me up, 702-551-5261 during these times, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Wednesday. So that means 5 o'clock for my Central people, 6 o'clock for my East Coast people. I don't know what time it is in Hawaii, but aloha to y'all that's out there. Appreciate y'all for chiming in too. But my time's about up today, y'all. So again, I want to thank y'all for each and every time y'all come check me out. I'll be here back next Wednesday. Next week, I've got a couple letters already, and I think the one next week may talk about, I ain't going to tell you. Yeah, I am. I think next week we're going to talk about, is it okay to love yourself more than your kids? Some of y'all going to ask that question for real, like, but we'll talk about then. Maybe. We may change the subject. But once again, for all y'all out there in internet land, all my people out there on Facebook and Instagram, I appreciate y'all for chiming in and hollering at the homie. And until next time, I've been your homie 360 the Poet. Make sure you check out all of our shows right here on hot702.5fm.com. We got another show coming up right after me, like Let's Talk Love. And we also have other shows. We got MVP Speaks. We got the Chisholm Report. We got a bunch of shows. We got that shady ass tea on Tuesday night. So anytime, just log on, get the app. Go online, go straight to the website, or just chime in on Holla at hot702fm.com on Facebook or Instagram. So until next time, peace and blessings, and I'll get with y'all in a minute.